Hello everyone, this is Barry from yang-JWELL Machinery, and today I'm going to make an introduction for this PVC foam board extrusion line. And this extrusion line, the series number is CK 2205 and 005. And this production line is composed with the extruder and the calibration table, the hollow unit, and the cutter, and also the stacker. And firstly, let's see the extruder part. This is the extruder, and you can see this is the gearbox, and this is the motor, and this is the material feeding system. And of course, we also have a screw loader, but today we didn't install here. And this is the screw and barrel, and this is the control panel. So this is the total extruder part. For the extruder's electricity connection, firstly, for the extruder, you need to connect the wire here, 3 wires. And then you can see our extruder wire has already been connected through this control panel. This part is for the water connection, and the first pipe is for the water input, and for the rest two are for the water output. This is the control part for this main extruder and this extrusion line. And you can see here, this one is the current meter for the feeder. And this is the rotation meter also for the feeder. And this is the current meter for the main motor. And this is the rotation speed display for this motor. And we also have 2 switches. Red switch means off, and green switch means on. And this is the switch for the feeder, and this is the switch for the motor. And also you can adjust the speed by this device. And also we have the this is the automatic stop emergency button. And we also have the synchronized system, synchronized button. And this is the start and stop for vacuum, and this is the melt pressure meter, and you can use this switch turn on and turn off. And this part is the temperature control part, and you can see we have the screw and barrel number 1 and number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and also we have the oil. The oil temperature 1, and also we have the T die, the T die 1, T die 2, T die 3, and die 4, die 5, die 6, 7, 8, 9, and also the core die. That is the connector between the die and the screw and barrel. So these are all the temperature meter controller, and we are all using the Omuro brand temperature controller, and those meters are for the current ampere. The temperature setting for each temperature meter is also very easy. For example, right now, if we want to set the temperature to around 50 or 60, and then we just press this button. For example, if we want to set 60, okay, now it's 61. But if we want to 60, then just press this button. I press this button to be 60. Okay, this is up and this is down. Very easy. Now let's see the inside electrical control components. And you can see this is air switch. We are using the CHNT, the number 1 Chinese brand. And for the low pressure breaker, we are using the Schneider. And for the other contactors, we are also using the Schneider brand. And for the controlling part, and for the main motor and also the feeder, and we are using the inverter. And all the motor, we are using AC motor inverter system. You can see the ABB inverter and also the ABB inverter. All we are using the ABB inverter. Okay, now let's start this extruder. And firstly, you can see this is the feeder, this is the a main motor, and this is synchronized. We just press here, so synchronize. They will start at the same time, and then let's give some speed for the feeder and also the motor. And also here, we'll give some speed for the motor as well. And also, if I adjust here, these two speed will adjust simultaneously. You can see. Then I adjusted this button, and this both the material feeder and also the main motor, their speed will change simultaneously at the same time. Okay, now let's see our feeder and the motor rotation picture. Okay, now you can see our feeder is rotating here in this direction. Now you can see this rotation picture. This is for the main motor, and because we already given the speed, so it runs now. And when the motor rotates, and then at the same time our screw and barrel will also rotate. You can see the screw and barrel is also running. Okay, and when the temperature, for the temperature controller, the temperature was controlled by this blower. When the temperature is more than the temperature which we settled, and this blower will start automatically. And you can see now the blower is starting. For the temperature for this screw and barrel, we are using the blower to cooling down the temperature. But for the number 4 and number 5 zone of this screw and barrel, we not only use the blower but also use the copper pipe because the water will go inside the copper pipes and to cool down the number 4 and number 5 barrel. And for this copper pipe, the water is controlled by these two valves, and also you need to connect the gas pipe here and here. One important step, that is before starting the extruder, you must add the lubricant oil, and the model is 220 oil inside this gearbox for the gear oil. The gear oil for this gearbox, you just loose these bolts and then add the oil inside, because this gearbox is vertical, which means that the distribution gearbox and also the main gearbox, they are together. So you just add oil here, that's enough. And for how much oil shall we add, then we need to see another oil position here. And for how much oil shall we add for this gearbox, and you can see this screen. And when the oil is above this red line, for example, in the middle of this window, then that's enough. This is the mode temperature controller. And for this mode temperature controller, we have two very important parts. This is you can see we have the model for the temperature. We have model 4 and also we have model 3. The model 4 is for the main mode, and the model 3 is for the die leads for this T-die. And for the mode, we have the oil in and also oil out. Oil in, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 pipes. And for the oil out, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4 outs. And then let's switch to the main mode and take a look. This is the T-die for this PVC foam board. And this die is mainly consists of two important parts. And this is the T-die, the main body. And we call this part the die leads, up and down. Okay, and we can see we have the die body 1, 2, 3, and also here 4. And these 4 parts will have the oil inside, which is controlled by this temperature controller. And for the die leads, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4 oil in. And this part is controlled by another temperature controller. This part is oil in, and for the opposite part is oil out for both die body and also the die leaves. And you can see that we have many screws on this T-die. These screws are used to adjust the material when material coming out of the die leaves. Maybe some part is quick, fast, and some part is slow. So we need to do the adjustment through all those screws and bolts. And another important part, these two, I said, we call it die leaves. And this time we provide total 3 sets of die leaves for you. And this one is 5 to 9 millimeter. That means this die leaves can produce 5 to 9 millimeter PVC foam board. This part we call it calibration table for the PVC foam board. And you can see this, like this kind of table, we have total 4 parts. So for the table up and down, we are controlled here. So we have the vacuum 1, vacuum 2, vacuum 3, and also vacuum 4. So total 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts. Up and down will be controlled here. And also this calibration tape backwards and also forwards are also automatic. We can control here. We can press forward and also backward. Okay, the first calibration up. And then down. Okay, the second calibration table up. And then down. Okay, the third calibration table up. And then down. The fourth, the last one, up. And then down. The 4 sets of calibration table, they are controlled by this hydraulic system. And for the calibration table upward and also backward are automatic by this motor. Okay, let's try. You can see this is up and this is down. Backwards and forward. Backward and forward. And this part is the lamination system, online lamination system. This part is the Hall-off machine. And you can see we have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of the Hall-off unit. And for the control of the Hall-off unit, is controlled through the control panel beside the calibration table part. So you can see now the Hall-off machine is running. The roller is running. For this Hall-off unit and the roller up and down, or we say it's release or press, all controlled by this switch. For example, if we want to pull the Hall-off up, and then let's go down. This part is our cutting system, and this one is vertical cutting for cutting the edge. And you can also see we have a roller here, and this roller is for making sure how much weight of this PVC foam board. And the cutter is controlled by this control panel here, no matter the vertical cutter or the horizontal cutter. And for the cutter, the most important part is the cutter rotation speed. The rotation speed must be the same with the mark which we stick on this box. This is our cutter, and for this cutting system, it is mainly controlled through this PLC system. And for the length, how much length cutting and the time cutting, all the data can be setting in here. And also you can see that we have automatic mode and also manual mode. And now we can see, let's do the automatic mode and see how does the system work. And okay, now let's do it. Okay, let's see how it works. And now you can see the cutter is moving. And after cutting, and this cutter will be pulled up. And also the saw cutter will go back to its original place, like this. As for the color, at the very beginning, our company think the yellow color is the warning color, but I have already requested them to change all those yellow color and this yellow color and this yellow color into green color to be the same with the calibration table color, the green one.